Hello. I think we have just about 3 minutes before the hour to start. So that's about some 90 seconds. And we can, 120 seconds, and we can proceed. Hello to you. Um,
Good morning to each and every one of us. My name is Samuel from Signal Alliance. I work with Signal Alliance as a technical pre-sales engineer / solutions architect. I would like to know if you can all hear me. Let's just so I'm sure that I'm not talking to myself.
We can hear you.
Loud and clear.
We can hear you.
Fantastic. I'm happy to know that. Well, thanks a whole lot for your time. Thanks for making it a date. And I know these are times that we never planned for, we never foresaw a day where we will all have to compulsorily work from home. I know it has its own toll on us. The culture itself has its toll on us. But before I begin to talk in depth, I would like to give the floor to my Signal Alliance commercial director, as well as my boss, Mr. Tolu Idris, is the CTO of Signal Alliance, for them to give us an opening note speech before we commence. Hello, Madam Teresa. Mr. Tolu, please, if you have a thing or two to share before we get into the discussion.
Teresa, please. That's fine. I think I'll leave the floor for Teresa. Teresa, please go ahead so we can start. Thank you. Teresa, are you there? Well, in the if Teresa is not there, just to say welcome to everybody. This is 11:03. We want to make, okay, I mean, my only comment is we want to make the best of the timing to be able to pass knowledge that will enable our partners and customers to be more efficient. So I want to cut down on all the plenty rhetorics, and so that I can allow the trainer to get straight to the crux of the day. So please proceed.
All right, thank you very much. So duly noted, because of time, so let's jump into the issue. So we think this around working remotely and what this means for organizations. So primarily, we're used to having an enterprise environment where we had this type of infrastructure in place that supported the type of workspace and all of that. But now, because of the pandemic outbreak, we're having to reconsider the way we do that, the approaches we take, the way we look at business continuity per se. Because, you know, to be honest with you, business continuity has gotten a new definition from today henceforth, from this period henceforth, because in most business continuity plans that we've seen, and we've seen quite a lot of them because of our span in the industry for over 25 years being in the industry, we've seen different kinds of business continuity plans for different organizations, and it's primarily looked like a copy and paste for different organizations with different logos slapped on top of it, where they really get to worry about disaster, their data center and their DR site and all those kinds of things. Well, I'll get to it. This is just by way of introducing the concept and the ideas we're trying to preach. So next will be the agenda. Good. So in my discussion today, I would like to discuss a whole host of all of these things that we noted, right? The ideal mental model to have in mind when we are building or responding to a pandemic outbreak, and IT has to keep running, the business has to keep running, people have to still keep working. Some part of the economy cannot afford to totally shut down, so some things need to keep being up and running, right? So these are the kinds of things, the kinds of conversations that the business will have with their technical teams. We're here to provide tips on how best to look at it holistically, right? And we are here to show you some value propositions as well. I'm just trying to set the floor to help us understand what we're going to be talking about. I'm going to be moving my screen around a lot, some housekeeping rules. So please bear with me. The idea is to share as much content as possible so that we can all be on the same page as to how we respond to these times, to these unprecedented times when we need to keep supporting our business in almost all the ways, right? So the ideal mental model we should have, how we should be looking at infrastructure, how we should be looking at application, how we should be looking at cybersecurity, how we should be looking at collaboration and things like that, because they make up the crux of the infrastructure. And also, I know that most organizations have migrated to using VPN now. Everybody has some form of remote access to their infrastructure to access mission critical applications to them, right? So there are ways we can optimize those things as well, right? There are things that we probably didn't know before now that probably during this session we'll be able to shed more light. You are able to go back into your environment and go through the VPN configuration you have and be able to determine the type of VPN that you're using, right? And the impact of that VPN method on your environment, on the bandwidth, on the hardware infrastructure as a whole, on the scale and the size, the sheer size of requests that is now coming from outside in, right? We need to help you understand what this means from a network logical topology view. We will discuss it briefly. We will use a diagram to analyze it. And moving forward, we will also touch on protecting our workers working from home. Now, more than ever before, a whole host of bad actors are out there trying to take advantage of this situation. And a whole lot of organizations have not woken up to the realities of the flaws around username password. Username password are about the easiest thing to circumvent now. The idea and the concept of zero trust and what it means for us today, right now, as remote worker, based on this emergency rule of working from home, that we must work from home. Business cannot afford to shut down. We cannot afford to have a hack on our network. We cannot afford to take a hit on our network now because business needs to keep moving. So what are the things you need to look inwards, into your infrastructure to piece out? What are the things you need to optimize? What are the things you need to critically look at how you protect access to them, right? This is the time to have that conversation, and we will briefly touch on that during this session. And lastly, I will have a demo on a certain use case for this new culture of being an IT support person and being an IT person in your organization and being able to provide remote support, being able to push certain kinds of information to those endpoints, right? Managing those endpoints effectively, right? Even though they are not in your corporate environment. How do you really look at a whole lot of things? I will use this session also to ask us some critical questions that we need to answer in depth. So that's it on the agenda. So please, guys, I'm about to start. If you have issues hearing me, if I'm talking too fast, if whatever feedback you have, please feel free to stop me. I'm happy to get feedback. The idea is to pass across this knowledge the best way possible, right? I do not want impediments. If my speech tone or pitch is not adequate, please do let me know. So getting into it. So what you need to worry about, the mental model we should have in the back of our minds is, right now, we just need basic connectivity because you cannot guarantee fiber to every person's home. Of course, no, you can't do that, right? The country has not scaled to the point where we have that kind of infrastructure, right? So you have to make do with the basic connectivity that your users have trying to connect remotely. And this connectivity doesn't end there. It speaks to also what you have in your own corporate environment, in your own data center, in where you have your resources, where you have your VPN concentrator device, right? How do you connect? How do you tunnel? What is the bandwidth on that internet pipe that is receiving traffic? Have you done the upload download speed to check exactly so that you can correlate that to if you need to adjust your bandwidth, if you need to implement some level of quality of service, if you need to make certain kinds of adjustments so that you can have a itch-free, migration from working in the office to working from home for both the corporate users and the home users. Primarily, the corporate users, I mean the corporate resources that needs to be accessed. The home users, I believe, should be 100% of your 100% of your, or at least a large percentage of your workforce should be working from home right now, if not all of them. So the kinds of conversations we are having around that will be, have you set up your VPN? If yes, you have set up your VPN, how have you set it up, right? So in some minutes, I will quickly show us a mental model of, a diagram. We will go through a whiteboard for me to analyze what this means practically. The next bit is basic collaboration, like we are having this session right here now. Fortunately, this is a session that will, that if you're occurring, it's a daily session. I'm pleased to announce that we will have another session same time on Monday, right? Dealing a new topic. Of course, the topic will be sent to us before or over the weekend, so we will know. So it's something we will look out for. So during the subsequent sessions, I will talk about in-depth. I will double click on basic collaboration, where we're able to share more insight on what we can do, how we can adjust, how we can adapt. Our students are home now, our children, our students are home now, the lecturers are home now, and then everything has to be on pause. Is that the way it should be? What can we do differently? The ideas of them, of people or of institutions, WHO and the likes, advising us all to stay back at home. These are fair. People, especially sickly people, are advised to stay at home. How do they still get in touch with a physician? These are the things that we can talk about around basic collaboration. How do students access curriculum? How do they access their teachers? These are the things that we will talk about in that other session, in the subsequent session coming up next week. So please, these are things that you should look forward to. I'm moving forward to business applications now. So this is another critical aspect of it. Business application spans across different architecture. You have people that have SaaS or a SaaS-based infrastructure where you have everything hosted on your cloud. You have your email, your payroll, everything hosted on your cloud. Well, this is a good time for you guys that have such an infrastructure. However, this is also a wake-up call for you to wake up and understand how well you can secure that platform. Those of us that also have an hybrid architecture where some of our applications are hosted in the cloud, other we have them on-prem, we have custom application on-prem, right? How those things, all those applications that are being accessed should be critically looked at today. This speaks to the area of zero trust that I had earlier mentioned, right? How you need to really be sure, not trusting anybody just because Mr. Bob has VPN credentials to my corporate firewall. Because he's been able to circumvent my credentials somehow, maybe it's through social engineering, and then he gains access to the firewall, and then just because of that, he has that credential. He's now able to log on to multiple applications in the corporate environment. That should not be the case. You should have some level of second factor authentication, as a layer of or as a preemptive measure or as a response to zero trust approach, where you have to critically look at everybody accessing everything in your environment. I'm particularly keen on this for the database guys. These guys with this cyber attacks that they generate on a regular basis. They are critically paying attention to people that have credentials that are vulnerable, particularly database guys, right? So them being able to access your environment and insert a ransomware attack where they're able to encrypt everything on the database, right? Just because they are able to get username, password, credential of one of the database admin guys. I mean, these are things that we should critically be looking at. I'm sure that our database guys have to still be on top of their game, and they're just accessing their devices. Also, they're just managing those infrastructure remotely via some corporate VPN. we need to go the extra mile to be sure that we have set up zero trust whilst they access remotely this infrastructure. We need to ensure that that is happening, that they are who they really say they are. They need to do second factor authentication, third factor, whatever it is that they need to do. They need to really declare themselves. Though, what does this mean for the business? It may mean that a couple of processes may be slow, definitely will be optimized. Hello? Okay, so I'll continue. I thought I was going to get a question or a feedback. So, it means that these kinds of things, these kinds of infrastructure has to really be optimized, right? These are the kinds of conversation we want to have with you. We are sure that some of us cannot disclose some kinds of pertinent private information in a forum like this. We are open to having these conversations with you on a one-on-one. And there are many complex use cases at these times, right? Where we can begin to have some other consulting discussions with you around how best to, adapt, how best to approach your business continuity plan now. We provide such services. We provide such consulting services where we can come in. We come in, with the weight of our partners, our strategic partners like Microsoft, partners like Cisco, partners like CA, people that are known well in the industry. We will piece together a best position in all ramification, because it's not just get the VPN up and running. That's not all. There's also the extra layer of ensuring that the VPN and the VPN devices that are accessing that VPN are all have a security safe posture, especially speaking to organizations, the financial services sector, right, where you deal a lot with some personal information. You need to ensure that whilst your workforce works remotely, there has to be a way that you protect both them, the traffic in motion and in at rest, and the PC itself. You're able to manage it, pertinent discussions that we need to, cover. So without going to talk about the product as of yet, let me go piggyback. Let me double click on the first issue that I discussed, basic connectivity. And to address basic connectivity, I will switch over now to a whiteboard. Pardon me, please. Please confirm that you see my screen. I would like to get a confirmation that you see.
Yes, we can see it. Come on.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you very much for the feedback. Fantastic. So what does this mean? Right? So why have I brought us here? What does this mean as to working remotely? What does it mean overall to our infrastructure? I've said it before that we all have some form of remote access, right? We have some form of remote access to our core infrastructure at either our DR site, DC site, our HQ, or our colocation site, whichever place we keep our devices, right? And then this remote access, there are ways that it works, but sometimes we are not sure how that works. Sometimes we may have forgotten the little tweaks that we can prove to improve the experience of the users, the experience of the infrastructure on the application, right? Or the experience of the application on the infrastructure, rather, right? So, I mean, if you are remotely accessing your infrastructure and you have definitely some form of VPN, remote access VPN. Now that could be a teleworker device. This is a teleworker device. I will talk briefly about the teleworker device a bit later, but just let me label that a teleworker device. Or You were accessing it using a corporate laptop. Right? When you go into the corporate environment via a VPN, depending on how the VPN is configured, it can either be a full tunnel or a split tunnel. What is the difference between these two things? So let me quickly show it to you. Right? Let's say you are doing a full tunnel. Now, let's say this is me. That's my laptop, right? And I have a remote access VPN from my laptop over my internet, over my circuit provider at home, my broadband, my own broadband. I initiate a VPN tunnel to the corporate concentrator to reach resources in the corporate data center. If they have configured this tunnel or this my VPN client as full tunnel, all my traffic, by the way, mind you, on this, say for instance, I work for Bank A, I have access to Finacle or FlexQ. I have access to applications like NIPS. I have access to probably the on-prem AD, right? And I'm doing something simultaneously with all these corporate applications. So these are corporate apps. All of them reside here in the data center, this data center. Now, this same me here, I now have other traffic that I'm sending to Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, and the likes. You get the drift. Or because I'm using a full tunnel, all of these traffics both corporate traffic and personal traffic will go across this tunnel. What this means that this user traffic all will egress via the internet provided at the HQ. So let's depict that here. Let's say that so it means that all these persons' traffic, both corporate and personal, will egress using the internet at the corporate headquarters. Now, do you really want to do that? Have you really looked at the VPN configuration to be sure that that's not what is happening currently? If you're not sure, this is the time you need to ask those critical questions. The optimal way to reroute your traffic or to route your traffic will be, let's go up here. The optimal way will be, so in here, the critical difference is here. The critical difference is here. You egress internet through the corporate. Now, as against here, so this is the same laptop. So it could be a laptop or a teleworker device, like I rightly mentioned here. I will briefly touch on teleworker device. I will just have, if I have split tunnel configured, split tunnel, what this means is only corporate device, only corporate traffic will go through this tunnel. Only corporate traffic will go across this tunnel. Every other traffic is sent directly to the internet provided by your local provider. Now, what does this mean? What does this mean? It means that as I am at home now, I have a laptop here, of course, and I have corporate resources that I need access to. So because of policy, because of security concerns, I have to access my corporate traffic via a VPN, or corporate resources via a VPN. I launch my VPN tunnel, and immediately I launch my tunnel. All of my traffic, my own, my interest in the office, maybe I have an Active Directory or a CRM or a ERP solution that I want to access via the VPN, and I launch the tunnel. I am in the application already, and I'm simultaneously watching something on YouTube. That video stream on YouTube is also going through the corporate network. That's the disadvantage of doing a full tunnel. Now, there are security concerns why people adopt full tunnel, right? There are reasons why, genuine reasons why people will want to adopt full tunnel. The reasons can be that you want to be sure that your corporate users are getting the best network access, the most secure internet access. So you need to, so organizations worry about things like anti-malware protection on the network layer, IPS, intrusion prevention system on the network layer, anti-bot, anti-spam, and all of those covers, those shields. Those services have already been bought at the corporate on the corporate network, and those devices are licensed. So you want them to take advantage of this infrastructure even when they are working from remote. But this is imposing or introducing a bottleneck to how you tunnel back. And that's one of the reasons why organizations will want to have a monthly meeting, a weekly meeting, an online meeting, especially now, and they will start experiencing some really, unsatisfactory experience, to say the least. These are the kinds of things that we need to think about. As at the head of infrastructure, as a CIO, this is the time we need to look inwards and optimize what we have and prepare for the new normal. Remote work is the new normal now. Now, are we prepared? Is our infrastructure ready to handle that type of traffic flow? Where from before now, you had 150, 300, whatever amount of users, assembled in a fixed building, and then all of the resources they needed was either on the cloud or on-prem. And then all they needed to have was network access to this. That has changed a bit. Now, those guys are not in those buildings anymore. They are working remotely, right? The remote work idea is not aggressively new, but the way and manner we need to cling to it now, we need to start taking it a lot more seriously. Now, we need to think about the security implications of what we're doing now, our internet hygiene, our work from home hygiene, the do's and don'ts. These are the little tips that we, Signal Alliance, can add or share with you where we are able to tell you, oh, these are the reasons, or these are the advantages of doing split tunnel, and these are the disadvantages of doing full tunnel. And the message here is a full tunnel provides you that kind of security, but also introduces a bottleneck to your infrastructure. You have 150, 200, or 30 devices backhauling or tunneling back, streaming directly through your corporate environment, right? Can your devices handle that traffic flow? Are they that rugged and reliable? Is your service provider giving you that kind of throughput, right? For users to have a seamless experience on the network. These are the kinds of conversations we need to have, right? So I think I've been able to discuss in some sense what remote access is and how the type of remote access we're using, impacts the performance of our users. The advantage of doing split tunnel and the disadvantage of doing full tunnel. The advantage of doing full tunnel and the disadvantage of doing split tunnel. I am open to questions right about now because I'm about to jump into another discussion, and I want us to not forget the question. So if you have questions for me on this diagram, I know it's quite busy, but just tell me. We can piece it together and get some clarity together. Any questions?
Okay, Samuel, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, I'm Gabriel. So, talk specifically on the tunnel and, of course, the full tunnel. So, please, I want, for a bit of clarification again, I want to really get that point where you talked about the disadvantage of split tunnel. So, can you just speak on that regard again?
I'm sorry, I lost you for a bit there, but please, when you just introduce yourself and the organization you work for, please, for the sake of we want to be able to reach out to you after this time. So some of us are taking stock. So please help us introduce yourself, the company you represent, and then the question, please.
All right, Samuel. I am Gabriel from Crystal.
Okay.
Gabriel from Crystal. So I was asking, I want to get more clarification.
Okay.
You talked about specifically on the split tunnel and full tunnel. So on split tunnel, I think I'm more interested to know again, which is on the disadvantage of this split tunnel.
Okay, the disadvantage of split tunnel, right?
Yes.
Okay. So thank you, fantastic question. Yes, so the disadvantage of split tunnel is this. You are not able to totally manage the internet behavior of your users. Now, what does this mean? It means that as a user, going back to my diagram, maybe I should clear the diagram and start on a fresh note. As a user, I am not able to be. Now, the full tunnel will provide me everything that I want. So in this corporate environment, like I mentioned before, I have anti-malware protection. I have IPS doing intrusion prevention for me. I have anti-bot. I have URL filtering. Right? All of these things are happening already at the HQ level, in the HQ data center. All of these services, one way or the other, is actually being provided by one box. Depending on the flavor you like. Or it could be Cisco ASA using Firepower services. It could be Checkpoint. It could be FortiGate. It could be Palo Alto. But those services are being provided at the corporate level. Now, if you have a full tunnel your users, your remote users, will take advantage of all of these services despite the fact that they are working from home. So if they wanted to go to Facebook, for instance, and then, or if they wanted to visit a malicious site, despite the fact that they are working from home, the minute they have a VPN tunnel up to access their corporate, it captures all of their traffic and passes it through the HQ, right? And then you are able to see the advantages of all of these services for those remote users, even though they are remote. Now, the disadvantage of that in a split tunnel is all of these things that I've listed here, all of it, you have it applicable partially. It applies to you partially. How do I mean? It means that because I am only pushing corporate traffic through the tunnel, I'm only pushing traffic to FlexCube, Waves, and the Active Directory. Because that's the only thing I need at the HQ, and that's the only thing that is making up my corporate traffic. And my personal traffic is going direct I hope you're seeing this diagram. I hope you're seeing what we're doing, what I'm trying to explain to you.
I'm seeing the illustration.
Are you seeing the difference?
Yes.
Are you seeing that here you? So you can see you can already be able to answer the disadvantages of having it run partially here, while it is enforced full here. For your enforcement, you're only able to enforce on this device, on this access, when you're using split tunnel. But when you're using full tunnel, you're able to across board enforce,
protect the user all the way around.
Make sense?
Yes, it makes lots of sense. So now, how can the hacker take advantage of the tunnel?
Good. A hacker take advantage of a full tunnel? Fantastic question. Because it's a full tunnel, that does not mean it is watertight. Now, you are aware of things like DDoS attacks, right? Distributed denial of service attacks. So if you, for instance, God help us, you have two firewalls. Most of us have just one perimeter firewall that is doing our VPN, playing the role of a VPN concentrator. Just few people have two. Have like a two-node cluster where if one of the two cluster is down, automatically traffic could be routed. Not just a few of us. So there are both nuts and bolts that we need to worry about in our VPN architecture. These are things that we didn't cater to before now. But because we need to depend on VPN more and more now, we need to start having these kinds of deep conversations around how our VPN is built. Is there HA? Is it highly available? And the high availability, is it automated? And how are you doing authentication to access the service as a user? Is it just a username password you're doing? Now, how are you even routing your traffic? Is it full tunnel or split tunnel? You see, these are critical conversations we need to start looking at now and having now. Because how will a hacker take advantage of full tunnel? To answer that, imagine, let me take up a bit of space and draw up. Forgive my drawing, it's not as great, but I'm trying to just pass this idea. So you have your firewall, say Internet Edge, forget the brand, probably connected to either a core switch. Let's forget redundancy now, right? Let's say assume that it's redundant. It has a standby peer. Maybe there's some form of stacking happening, right? And then that's your core switch. This is your firewall. This is your CS. And of course, yes. Now, you have your remote users connecting, establishing, they have their own tunnel. So what you're trying to do in essence, I hope you get my idea. You're trying to establish a tunnel across the internet. Now, remember this place. Oh no. Forgive me. Remember, at this point, you have a public IP address. Whatever it is, you've shared it with all of your remote users, everybody, right? Now, for some weird reasons, someone else knows this public address. Forget the tunnel now. Your tunnel is between you and your users, right? But the infrastructure that is providing that tunnel, it can be circumvented when they hit it with things like DDoS, distributed denial of service, right?
Yes.
If this guy goes dead, full or split, do you have any tunnel at all? Of course no. So because you have a full tunnel, that does not mean that you are fully protected. Because the infrastructure itself is still vulnerable. And a lot of DDoS is out there. A whole lot of DDoS attack is just springing up by the minute. Because they know people are accessing infrastructure from outside. They are pushing a whole lot of key with remote capabilities to get people VPN credentials and gain access to corporate. Now, if you do not have things like, forgive me, if you do not have things like zero trust, if you do not have zero trust in place, it becomes really difficult for you to know who a legit VPN user is from who a fake VPN user is. So do not let your VPN credential, be the only security authentication in the approach you are providing moving forward. That's another consideration beyond your split tunnel.
Okay.
You see, so you should have a zero trust approach in how people. So because now, then I have this diagram here. So I'm going to depict. So this is your core switch. The core switch is connected to a server farm switch, right? Either a Nexus or whatever. And then these are servers connected to it, right? This guy needs access to, let's say this is CRM, and then this is ERP or AD. When this guy authenticates here with his VPN credential, is allowed in. The next authentication, which is also most likely a username password. When he gets in,
you can no longer see the illustration.
Oh, what about now? Are you still seeing it?
Yeah, I can see it now.
Okay, sorry about that. Thanks for the feedback. So you have this guy here wanting to access resources here. He's only challenged twice. He's challenged here, and he's challenged here. VPN credential for here, that's this, and for here, access credential, maybe user credential to CRM or user credential to ERP, and that's it. There should be a third layer of authentication introducing an MFA in line with zero trust posture. Don't trust anybody for any reason. They need to declare who they are before you can acknowledge who they are. Don't assume that because I am Obinna Samuel and I come to the office and then I get to the gate, I say my name is Obinna Samuel, they just open the gate for me. No, there should be a security challenge that only I can access. Those are the conversations we have around MFA, which is multi-factor authentication. I mean, this is the beginning of a very fantastic thing. We have another session definitely next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all the way. So all of these things, I will double click on them subsequently. But the core idea is, I'm sorry, my diagram is filled up now. But the core idea is this. It is good to have full tunnel. It is also advantageous to have split tunnel. If you can do split tunnel to optimize your bandwidth and to provide good user experience for your users, right? But if security is totally critical to you and then you have all of your core infrastructure security centralized on a network device in your environment, then a full tunnel is advised so that your users will keep getting advantage of all the applications and security layer that have been worried or that have been sorted out or that have been taken care of in the core infrastructure. But this is also a wake-up call for those kinds of infrastructure to begin to look at how to transition into this type of infrastructure where you are able to support 100% of your workforce remotely. That's the core idea now. They have to be able to have that collaborative experience, that user experience, that quality of service, that user experience that we want to have. We want to promise them on-prem. We want to also ensure that off-prem. Right? So thank you very much for the question. How full tunnel is also vulnerable. I hope I was able to do justice to that.
Yes, you have. Thank you.
Good. I'm open to more questions here before I proceed. Okay. So in the absence of any question, I thank you again, and I take it that we now understand the difference between the tunneling type and the advantages we get and the disadvantages we see from each to the other. Now I want to talk about the core products for today. So we have these kinds of sessions. First, we explore the problems, and then the second segment will now talk about a problem and how it is solved. So I said I was going to ask us one or two questions, and I mean, you don't have to answer it if you don't want to answer it, but it will be good to have a candid feedback, you know, from this session. We are here. Why don't we make the best of it? Why don't we use the best opportunity to really critically self-analyze, you know, and really understand the fallbacks and the shortcomings of our infrastructure the way it is. Now, how many of us can answer my question around how we provision? How are you able to enroll users now? How, for instance, if you have a need to roll out an application today, how can you achieve that? Do you have devices or things or solutions in place that can help you roll out applications to your remote users right now the way you are set up? Please, I want it to be a two-way thing, please. Guys, I want honest feedbacks, please. Hello? Hello, guys.
We can hear.
Hello, Samuel.
Oh, okay. Yes, please. Someone was going to say something.
Okay, hello, Samuel. If I get the question correctly, are you trying to say that in this time, should we need to deploy a new service or solution? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, should you need to deploy a new service or solution to react, you know, to be swift, to be nimble? How will you push those applications to your users as we speak today?
Okay.
You know, these are questions we need to answer now, or we can go back we can, of course, we are home, so we can go back and really ponder on them, right? How can we do that? We push those traffic. How can you push those applications to them? How can you get across to them? Say, for instance, there's a reason to update your VPN, and not all your users are power users. Some of them don't even know how to do that. How are you able to help them remotely initiate this update? Especially now where security should be top of mind for us. You need to constantly be patching, right? How do you effectively ensure that, yes, all your users are patched, apart from denying them access if they are not patched? How do you help them, even though you have to social distance? So right now, you are the IT guy at home, and then they are the business people in their homes as well. How do you, do those things that you will have probably put on the flash drive and quickly run to their office and quickly help them install? How do you do that? How do you help them monitor, or how do you remotely monitor the health of their devices? I know most of us here have some health monitoring tools that we have in-house.
Okay,
right?
Let me just comment this. Okay, I understand what you're saying, Samuel. So unfortunately, I'm not the IT security man in my organization. So although we're in the same department, so because I'm a system administrator, I'm part of the system administrator. So I think the one we are doing in our organization, we ensure that everyone connecting to the resources of the bank has a machine that is connected to a domain. So when we, like I said, I'm not the IT security person, but I'm just saying from what the culture has been and what we are practicing. So in case we want to push any update based on anything on threat, we push it via the domain level. Since all this, because everybody actually working from home now is working from the office machine. All laptops are connected to domain, connected to the network. So if those laptops are connected to the network via our VPN, which means it's as though they are still in the office. So we have the server and storage guys who will need to push update and policies on those machines per time. So basically, I feel this may be a way beneficial even in this time.
Thank you very, very much. Thanks a whole lot. Is that Mr. Hackman?
Is it?
I'm sorry, I didn't get the name, sir.
I'm Gabriel. Adilabu Gabriel.
Okay, okay, fantastic. Thanks a lot for this interaction and the feedbacks, right? Thanks a whole lot for sharing with us what you do internally. And at the end of the day, let me remind us all again that the idea is to come, look, and let's share knowledge. Those one of us that are not doing these kinds of things, that are not asking these kinds of critical questions, let them get feedbacks, right? So the idea is, now I hear how you do it internally. If you have SCCM, for instance, and then you are back on the VPN tunnel, yes, it's easier for you to push those things, right? But for those of us that do not have SCCM, I can tell you a whole lot of people that deployed SCCM but cannot keep using it because of the some drawbacks, especially in an environment where operating system uniformity is not enforced. We have some of those environments very well where they are still using some older unpatched OS. If you have things like what do you call it, WSOS in such an environment, it becomes difficult for you to manage, trying to use it alongside SCCM and the likes. I don't want to go into that can of worm. However, what I'm saying, is to buttress the points for us to ask ourselves those critical questions and see the viable options to answering those, solving those problems. If we have the capability to do that, yes, let's do that internally. If we do not have it, let's come out, let's have these conversations, these candid conversations with you. Let's help you identify the kinds of, solutions you can position to solve these pertinent questions, right? So we have some solutions that we can help you push and answer these kinds of simple instances. For instance, the solution I was going to talk about today is it's called Systems Manager. It's a mobile device manager, right? And it does what exactly I've said it does, right? It helps you manage your devices remotely. So when you have roaming users, you are able to adequately cater to them. You are able to adequately take stock of your infrastructure. How are you able to know the health and posture of those devices, right? This particular solution can give you such access. So I'm going to, forgive me, I'm going to have to read through these kinds of things, right? That was why I started asking those questions so that it will sink in some more, right? So you are able to, pre-enroll devices and add people, all right, onto the VPN connection using this platform, right? You're able to monitor devices remotely. You're able to track devices per location. These are corporate devices. If you have certain interest in certain critical people, you may want to have some extra level of visibility into the devices and how working remotely is affected, is affected by the posture of the devices in your infrastructure. If you want to know devices that have some type of vulnerability, this solution will sit on the environment, sit on the PC or the mobile phone of the user and is able to provide information, telemetry information that will help you make more informed decisions on how to optimize and support your users, right? By for instance, being able to declare the hard drive space on your user's PC. Because you are not there with them in person to support them, you may find a need to share with them a link where they can upload the excess data on their local drives and free up space. These are extra value as system support people. So our relevance transcends being in the office, being able to go and sit down in front of a large monitor and be monitoring links. Even now that they are not in the offices where those links we are monitoring are, we can still add value to them where they are. And what kind of value? Being able to remotely provide diagnosis to their devices. I will do a brief demo here. I will show us quickly what the interfaces are, what kind of information you can get on Systems Manager, which happens to be just one of the many types of MDM solution Signal Alliance can position for you. By the way, just a set of reminder, yes, we are gold partners with Microsoft, and we're also gold partners with Cisco, right? So we have that much credibility, that much strategic alignment with the movers and shakers of those two core, IT spaces, the software and the core software people, and then the infrastructure and the core infrastructure people. So both of them have a flavor of mobile device manager, and we are strategically positioned to provide you both of the fields, right? If you want to go Microsoft way, yes, we can have such conversations with you. If you want to go the Cisco way, we are so happy to engage you as well. But I'm just talking through the Systems Manager, that's Cisco's flavor of mobile device manager, just so we can have a feel of what it's like. Probably during the subsequent sessions, I will have other of my colleagues or myself also take us on the look and feel for the other MDM solution we offer. So moving on, well, I'm almost always apprehensive when I'm having to do a demo remotely. So for those of us in IT, we know the God of demo. So yes, I just hope that the God of demo favors us today and we're able to see value. So well, let me quickly share the screen. Please confirm that you see my screen. You see the Meraki dashboard?
Yes.
Fantastic. So I didn't want to talk about the underlying. Fantastic. Thank you for the confirmation. I didn't want to talk about the underlying provider. I just wanted to talk about a flavor of our MDM offerings, right? Since we see the value of MDMs, providing the kind of visibility we need to provide to our customers, even though they are working remotely, helping them, providing the kind of visibility as though you are with them physically, even though they are in isolation, and we are all in isolation. You see, like I mentioned earlier, we offer both flavors and a whole lot more flavors of MDM solution, but we're just talking about the Cisco's flavor today. So this is the look and feel of Systems Manager, and Systems Manager is one of the services and applications that Meraki provides. Meraki is a recent acquisition of Cisco. 2012, Cisco acquired a cloud managed arm of business, was called Meraki, and then still bears Meraki. They provide cloud-based services, cloud-managed services actually, for infrastructure. So you will have cloud-based, cloud-managed firewalls, cloud-managed access points, cloud-managed switches. And what does this cloud-managed thing mean? It means that instead of worrying about PuTTY, you need to enable Telnet or SSH and then know the IP address of all of your switches. Instead of that, and then after doing that, you need to also worry about the application you need to monitor to, that you need to configure SNMP to be monitoring the life and the status of your switching and routing and firewalling. All of that is
Hello, we can barely hear you now. We can barely hear you.
Wow. Hello? Is it any better now?
I can now.
Oh, fantastic. I got carried away. Thank you. So I was talking about Meraki and how Meraki is positioned within Cisco. Like I said, Meraki is a cloud managed arm of Cisco, where they provide cloud managed devices that Cisco offers. Some of us here, or most of us at least, must have connected to one access point or the other, or definitely we have a need to have a firewall or stuff like that. We're used to having them all managed on-prem, but the core idea behind Meraki is software defined, and that brings a new twist to it. So if you wanted to have an understanding of software defined anything, software defined WAN access, software defined data center, or anything, the core idea is that a layer of abstraction was done. They collected some tags and bundled it up into a function and put it in a controller, and that controller will now be the central brain to carry out this function. What am I saying in essence? I'm saying that the control plane of our devices are currently, with what we know, they are currently available to us via console shell or GUI. Some of us have UI, for instance, to manage the control plane of what do you call my Mikrotik, for instance. You needed that application Winbox to access it, for instance. If you wanted to manage Checkpoint, you needed their Gaia suite to access it, or whatever it's called now. If you needed to manage ASA, you needed ASDM or CLI, if you know your way around the command line. But here we're talking about doing all of those management, those control plane management. You were talking about doing all of that on a dashboard on the cloud, right? Where you wanted to configure NAT, you wanted to configure firewall rules, and you needed to crown 100 command lines and all that. All of those complexities have been abstracted with this kinds of technology, providing software-defined, provisioning, software-defined control plane access to your the devices on the cloud, a single pane of management for your network devices, right? You have, so a list of devices Meraki will support will be firewall. They have their firewall, they have their switches, they have their routers, they have their access points. They have, even the interesting part is they have the cameras, right? They have smart cameras. That is a whole new ball game. Subsequent sessions we will dive deep into each one of these. But today we are here to talk about Systems Manager, a mobile device manager that provides the functionality that we have discussed before, providing visibility. So this dashboard shows us a typical infrastructure. This is a demo environment that we are accessing to display to you what it means to run a systems manager MDM from Meraki. So for instance, let's go to this device. This is a VM device. Let it come up. I will expect that the internet link will be a bit slow because this is peak period in this area. So please, guys, forgive me. It's still the same sets of issues that we are discussing and we are trying to address. So whilst that is opening, what we expected to see is a typical virtual machine sitting in a corporate environment, right? Running a Windows, whatever application, a server application, a server OS or a client OS, right? And then you wanted to know exactly what was running on it. So for instance, you have your users connecting from different locations, and then you wanted to be sure that they are not accessing malicious websites, right? This MDM gives you the privilege to be able to enforce certain policies that, internally corporate has signed off. So now that they are off net, you feel you cannot. And mind you, please note that it is only when users turn on the VPN function on their PC that they're able to get all of the advantages of a full tunnel experience. When their PC is on and they don't have a VPN session, they can all equally access the internet, right? By them accessing the internet, they are not enjoying the protection that you will have provided for them when they are on a full VPN tunnel. I hope I'm not confusing us. I hope this is clear enough. I'm happy to take my explanation again. I'm just using this to get some time to have this open. Forgive the internet speed, It's really, really slow. Well, what I was saying. So if you have a full tunnel, but note that your users will not always enable the tunnel, will not always turn on your remote access VPN every time they need to use the computer. But how do you cover when they are not on the tunnel? It is when you install things like this. It is when you actually activate these kinds of things that you're able to get extra visibility on net or off net, that whilst they are on your tunnel or when they are not on your tunnel, you're able to control, you're able to push, you're able to remote wipe. There may be reasons because of some certain things. There may be reasons for us to want to remotely wipe data from end users' machine, and those users are smart enough not to want to connect to your VPN tunnel, right? So it is when they're on your VPN tunnel that you're able to lock their access or do some things to them, right? But are you able to remotely lock them down? Are you able to remotely get out your, privileged information whilst they are, So for instance, wow, this bounced out to another page. So let me go back here, please. Forgive me, guys. Network has been very, very interesting here. So I was saying, you're able to find, for instance, okay, look, it's loaded now. So let's find somebody. Let's look for this person. This is the page. So from wherever you are, you don't need to be in your corporate tunnel to be able to access this dashboard. This dashboard supports remote role-based access control. So, sharing access to these kinds of things and doing the kinds of things you need to do, you can be granular about it. So look at things like this. For instance, you have a corporate device and then you build a geo fence around it. Say, for instance, you have your MD living here, and during this lockdown period, or you have a corporate resource that should not move or should not leave a particular location, but because of the restrictions in movement, you are not able to enforce it. You are not even able to know. You can use this mobile device manager to enforce geofencing. So you can say that the device that is situated in this particular location, if hopefully you see my screen, it should not go beyond the radius, designated. And the minute it does go beyond the this designated radius, certain actions can be configured. Different kinds of actions can be configured. It can be immediately remote wiped. It can immediately, self-report. It can immediately activate some things on the device. So, these are things that we probably didn't know was possible before now, but having to work remotely, we need to now start thinking about the strategy in a deeper way, in a more engaging way, in a more remote, enabling more remote capabilities, enabling more remote controls that can help us maintain the level of decorum, the level of hygiene that we need to carry through these trying times. I will be happy to show a whole lot of demos of this, but the network here is not allowing me to do a whole lot of that. However, I will just manage with what I have, and then hopefully during the subsequent sessions or any on-call session. So that helps me understand what I'm about to say. What I mean is, if you are interested in a thorough and deep dive of such things, and you found a use case either of VPN optimization or mobile device management integration into your environment, or mobile multi-factor authentication, please feel free to reach out to us. We will drop an email. There's a particular email that we will share with you shortly. I will also drop that in the chat box shortly, so that we can send all of our queries, all of our requests to that email. We can get the feedbacks that we really need to get from us all. So yes, back to my screen. So this here shows us the application that is available on the store. For instance, like I mentioned earlier, how are you able to provision right? How are you able to allow people gain, install or get experiences when they are remote, when you are not able to go to their PC and help them install an application? Of course, yes, we will admit, or you will all agree with me that we have a couple of users that are not as sophisticated as we would want them to be. However, our job is to keep providing the level of support we provide for them. So how are we able to do that? On this dashboard, we can upload, such applications, so to provide some clarity, sir, Mr. Gabriel, so you made mention of this when your users are on-prem, when they connect to the tunnel, you're able to now disburse or share these patches, these applications, or whatever it is that you need to distribute across to them. However, for this one, not until you don't even need the VPN to even have these kinds of things in operation, because I would imagine, or I would expect that pushing such a thing via the VPN tunnel will introduce a whole lot of clog to the already strangled home user broadband and already strangled remote your corporate internet. So providing these kinds of things over outside of the tunnel, outside directly to the users, and that can be scheduled to a specific time. So you can do scheduling here as well, where you are able to tell the application to be installed probably off peak period, maybe 2 a.m., 3 a.m., getting that kind of granular control to be able to determine the user experience or control the user experience. These are the kinds of things that you enjoy, enabling mobile device management, mobile application management, mobile end user management, right? These are the core tenets of this discussion, and that leads me back to my presentation. Yes, go ahead, please.
So how will you push policies or patches via the mobile device management?
Okay. So let me go back to the other screen. Let me share that screen again. So great.
Hi, Samuel.
I'm sorry. Yes.
Sorry, this is Boma. Sorry, we just need to round because time is going, so we don't lose people. If there are any more
I'm sorry?
questions, you can put your email address, the work email address, so that they can ask your question. But we just round up. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Okay. So yes. I get the feedback. I'm sorry, guys. We are spent for time. It's quite an engaging one, but I will have to drop my email, and we can have a remote session with you. So my email, I'm dropping it right now.
There's a general mail for all this.
Yes, I'll provide that as well.
All right, that's the email. All the participants will communicate. Just put it on the chat box. Boma, you can put it on the chat box.
So I'm sorry, sir. I will have to beg that I address that. I take your question offline and we handle it that way, please. Just in the interest of time. I don't know if this is visible enough. I know it's small. Let me see if I can make it a bit bigger.
No, it's visible. It's okay. It's okay like that. Go ahead.
Okay, that's fine. So I was going to say, maybe I will have to have a one-on-one session with you to demo the how policies can be pushed, how applications can be pushed remotely, right? To users, but the core idea are these things that we see here. I don't know if my screen, what part of my screen, my presentation. Let me go back to my presentation and I close out from here, right? So I have a short clip to share with us. Could just take a brief listen.
Cisco Meraki Systems Manager is Cisco's enterprise mobility management solution and unifies endpoint management across mobile and
Apologies, guys.
Cisco Meraki Systems Manager is Cisco's enterprise mobility management solution and unifies endpoint management across mobile and PC, including iOS, Android, Windows, Windows Phone, Chrome OS, Mac OS, as well as Microsoft Server. It also combines all the mobile management technologies in one easy-to-use dashboard, supporting mobile device management, mobile application management, mobile content management, and mobile identity.
In a nutshell, that is what Manager does. I'll be expecting to see your emails for feedbacks. I don't know if I have some few minutes to address some or any questions, or we can just call it.
Any questions? Yes. Let's hold on for anybody with the last minute question. That's advice. That's nice, so that we don't want people to go with their questions unanswered. So any further questions where we can quickly hold on and answer. I've put the email on the chat box for people to send all their feedbacks, workplacesupport@signalalliance.com. So any further questions, we can quickly attend to it.
So I take it that there are no questions then. Thank you very much, guys. Thanks a lot for the time. Please, your questions, if I didn't address it, please shoot them to me as an email. Shoot them to the email that is being provided on the chat box. Please, we want to get feedbacks from you. We want to know how best to improve all of this. Thank you very much for your time, and enjoy the rest of your day.
So thank you very much, everybody. Again, from me, my name is Tolu Idris. Please be informed again that this series continues next week. On Monday, same time, we'll have a different topic, different agenda, everything aimed at ensuring in this remote work era, we get all our partners and stakeholders to become productive while working from home. So join us again on Monday for another series, another topic. If you have anyone that you want us to repeat, kindly send us emails to repeat it. We will gladly do that. But we will resume again on Monday for another agenda, another topic that we're sure will be very valuable for all our customers and stakeholders. So thank you for your time. Thank you for staying longer than we planned. I believe you will all enjoy the session, but we also have to make sure that we don't keep you tied in too much. Thank you so much, and we can call it a day until Monday again. We'll meet again. Thank you. Bye.